Have you ever walked through a forest and felt a shiver down your spine, a sense that you're not entirely alone? Most of the time it's just the wind whispering through the leaves or a trick of the light, but what if it isn't? What if the forest itself is watching, remembering things humanity has long tried to forget? Today we journey to a place whispered about in hushed tones, a place known only as the Weeping Woods. They say that if you venture into these woods after sundown, you'll witness something that defies all explanation. The trees, ancient and gnarled, are said to weep, but they don't weep sap or morning dew. They weep tears of blood-red resin glistening under the moonlight like fresh wounds. Local legends passed down through generations speak of this as the forest's eternal sorrow, a physical manifestation of grief for sins that have soaked into its very soil. Imagine standing there, the air thick and silent, broken only by the soft, rhythmic dripping, drip, 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 each drop a crimson tear falling from the bark of towering oaks and skeletal birches. It's not a violent spectacle, but a profoundly sad one. It's as if the entire forest is locked in a state of perpetual mourning. The ground beneath your feet, damp with this strange red substance, feels like hallowed, sorrowful earth. But why? What could cause nature itself to grieve so deeply? The stories are fragmented like faded photographs from a forgotten album. Some say a great unspoken battle was fought here centuries ago, a conflict so brutal and unjust that the land itself absorbed the anguish of the fallen. The soldiers were never given proper burials, their stories lost to time, and now the trees stand as their only monuments, weeping for the lives cut short in violence and rage. They cry for the sons, fathers, and brothers who never returned home, their final moments witnessed only by the silent, stoic trees. Another, more personal tale speaks of a heartbroken woman who fled to the forest after a devastating betrayal. She wandered among the trees, her tears watering the roots, until she simply vanished, becoming one with the woods. The legend says her sorrow was so immense, so pure, that the forest took it upon itself to continue her weeping for eternity. The red resin isn't just a substance. It's the embodiment of her unending heartbreak, a reminder that some wounds are too deep for time to heal. As the night deepens, the forest seems to come alive with this shared sorrow. The wind through the branches sounds less like a whisper and more like a soft, mournful sigh. The rustling leaves could be the sound of shuffling feet, spectral processions of forgotten souls drawn to the weeping trees. People who claim to have stayed through the night speak of a heavy feeling in the air, not of menace, but of overwhelming sadness. It's an empathy so powerful it can bring you to your knees, forcing you to share in the forest's ancient pain. They say the red resin has a peculiar quality. It doesn't smell like blood or tree sap. Instead, it carries a faint, melancholic scent, like rain on dry earth mixed with something old and faintly floral, like funeral wreaths, left to wither. If you dare to touch it, it's cool and surprisingly thick, clinging to your skin like a memory you can't wash away. Those who have touched it claim to experience flashes of emotion, a surge of loss, a pang of regret, a fleeting echo of a long extinguished life. It's as if the trees are trying to communicate their burden, sharing glimpses of the past with anyone brave enough to listen. Think about the concept, a living, breathing ecosystem acting as the world's conscience. In our fast-paced lives, we pave over history, tear down monuments, and do our best to forget the uncomfortable parts of our past. We build shiny new futures on top of buried sins. But the Weeping Woods, it doesn't forget, it can't. It serves as a living chronicle, a natural archive of human failing and sorrow. The trees are keepers of secrets, their bleeding bark a testament to the fact that the past is never truly dead. It's not haunting us. It's simply asking to be acknowledged. This phenomenon isn't about scaring people away. In fact, some locals see it as a sacred duty to visit the woods, to sit in silence and bear witness to the tree's grief. They see it as an act of solidarity, a way of saying, "We hear you, we remember with you." They leave no offerings, take no souvenirs. They simply offer their presence, sharing a moment of quiet contemplation with the weeping giants. For them, it's a pilgrimage to a place where nature holds humanity accountable, where the earth itself feels the weight of our actions. Could there be a scientific explanation? Of course. Botanists might theorize about a rare type of fungus or a specific mineral in the soil that reacts with the tree's resin to produce the red color. Perhaps it's a unique defense mechanism or a response to environmental stress. But even if science could explain the how, could it ever truly explain the why? Could it explain the profound soul-stirring sadness that permeates the air? Could it explain the shared stories passed down for centuries, all centered on themes of loss and forgotten sins? Sometimes the most powerful truths aren't the ones we can measure in a lab. They're the ones we feel in our hearts, the stories that resonate with our own experiences of love, loss, and regret. The Weeping Woods taps into that universal human emotion. It reminds us that our actions have consequences that ripple through time, and that even the earth itself can bear the scars. The forest isn't a monster. It's a mourner, it's a somber, beautiful, and heartbreaking reminder that we are all connected to each other, to our history, and to the very ground we walk on. So if you ever find yourself near a forest at dusk, listen closely, look closer. You might just find that the trees have stories to tell, and if you're quiet enough, you might just be able to hear them weep. The world is full of wonders and mysteries, and the Weeping Woods is one of its most poignant. It stands as a timeless, living memorial to all that we have tried so hard to forget. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of the Weeping Woods. If you enjoy exploring the strange and mysterious corners of our world, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories like this. It really helps us continue our explorations. Until next time, stay curious.